what I'm going to do now is to proceed to set an event-driven something between our S3 buckets and then our Lambda function, right? Always remember what is going to happen is when you upload files through the UI into your S3 buckets, right? It's going to trigger a Lambda function, which in turn is going to do the conversion from text to audio and then the sending of the email. So in order for us to do that, we are going to configure our S3 buckets to send an event, right? We are going to create an event-driven something solution, right? So that's how you can do that. Let me quickly look for my S3 bucket. Sorry guys, this is my first tutorial on camera, so it's a bit shaky, but I can assure you that it's always going to get better. So once you come into your S3 bucket, just come under properties and then you scroll down. You will see event notifications, and I'm going to create an event notification. So there's going to be my first event notification. I'm going to call it convert docs to audio, and then under that I will have a prefix called uploads slash and then a suffix .docx. So basically what this means is I want this Lambda to kind of do something for me when a file is uploaded to this part in my S3 bucket. And then if the file ends with I want that to happen if the file ends with a .docx. So I'm going to select the event type. That's going to be a post and a put event. And then I will select my Lambda function. So now I'm going to select our convert text to audio Lambda function we just created. And then I'll click on save. Alright. I'm going to create another event. I'm going to create another event for PDF files also. So I'm going to call that convert PDF to audio, and then it's going to go through the same folder, uploads, so .pdf. Now select put and post. So I'll have my same Lambda function, that is convert text to audio, and I'll click on save changes. So basically what is happening as again is we want our Lambda function, this Lambda function, right? If you look at the Lambda function, we want this Lambda function to be triggered when someone uploads something into this bucket, and then we are indicating the path that inside the bucket, if someone uploads something into an upload folder, and then the file ends with either a .pdf or a .dos, that's when this Lambda is going to be invoked. So if you look at the Lambda initially, there is no trigger to this Lambda. But after setting up the event notification and all, if I come in here and then I refresh this page, you will see that now there is a trigger to the Lambda function itself. There is a trigger, and then if I come in here, you realize that it links to our S3 buckets, and then it indicates the configurations with it. That if someone uploads into this prefix, that's into this folder, uploads folder, and then the file ends with .docx, we want it to trigger this function. Or if it goes into the upload folder and then it ends with .pdf, we want it to trigger the Lambda function. Alright, so I'll come into my S3 bucket and then ensure I have those two folders created. So I'm going to create a folder. So the first one is uploads, and then I'll create a folder. I'll create another one for audio. So please pay key attention to the configuration. That's the S3 event notification that we created, right? Because we are using the same bucket for our upload, and then we are using the same bucket for the audio storage and then the upload of the CSV file. if you don't set your events notification properly, you end up creating a loop where when you upload any file, right? If you don't add these filters and extensions and surfaces and prefixes, if you upload any file, it will end up invoking your Lambda function, and that's not something you want, right? Else, once the Lambda function generates the PDF and then it uploads it back into the audio folder in your same bucket, it's going to trigger the Lambda again. That's the key reason why we created the event notification, and then we added uploads and then the .pdf and then the .docx prefixes. So that's just a note. So first, we are just going to do a quick test to see. I expect this thing to fail, either permission issues or timeout stuff. But as I said, I want you guys to appreciate it and then see the process you go through when working on solutions like this. All right. So now I'll come into my S3 bucket. I have some files on my local. I'm going to upload it into our uploads folder for now. So I'll click on add files. I think I have an Amazon Connect overview PDF, and then I'll click on upload. So what I'll do is I'll come to my Lambda function. That's the convert text to audio Lambda function, right? And then I'll click on monitor and then view CloudWatch logs so that you'll be able to see what happened when you uploaded the files. Guys, let me know if you want the video to always be in this format. I don't want to heavily edit them. I want you to see the process, how to test it and everything. All right. So this is my audio file, and then if you look at the event, if you look at the time, yeah, it's 3:52 p.m. So this is the event that got generated. Let me come in here. I expect the Lambda to fail for some reason. Oops. Sorry, guys. So I feel after adding my Lambda function, I'm not sure I deployed the Lambda code. Oh, that's a good thing for all of us to see. So you see, once you create a Lambda function, you always have to ensure you deploy it before the changes occurs. So when I came into my logs, if you guys could see, I had nothing going on for me. So I was kind of skeptical as to what was happening. So that's a good thing. All right, so now let me go again and re-upload the file, the same file again, into the same folder so that you get some events and then see the necessary errors you want to see. Okay, so back to my CloudWatch log. I should have another event. So if you can see this, click on that. All right. So I'm going to expand everything. So this is our first error. It's saying something that's unable to import model Lambda function, no model name PDF. And then I can see, is there any other error? I think that's the only Lambda error as it stands now. So let's try and then see what is happening. So we are getting that error because in your Lambda environment, right, there are lots of libraries and models that works behind the scenes. So if you see we have Auto3, we are importing a lot of things. Most of these things comes by default, but there are others that you have to manually add them. So if you are working with a Lambda function and then you want to add a particular package which the Lambda environment doesn't support by default, what you can do is to add that as a Lambda layer. So in our case, I think we are making use of something called PyPDF2, and then that PyPDF2 or the PDF reader doesn't come by default. So what we are going to do is we are going to add it as a Lambda layer. So when it gets to Lambda layers, there are some layers that comes by default into your AWS account that you can make use of. And then if you don't have the layer, what you have to do is to create your own layer, and then you can add it. I'll try and then make a simple video on how to create Lambda layers. But for now, I already have a zip file on my local. That's for that particular Lambda layer. I'm just going to show you guys how to add the layer to it. So I'll come in here Under this section, you will see Lambda layers. I'm going to open it in a browser tab. I'm going to create a layer. So I'm going to call the layer PyPDF. Sorry, PyPDF2. And then I'm going to upload the zip file. As I mentioned, I already have the zip file on my local. If you would want to see a video on how to create your own zip files or for your layers, please do well to leave it in the description. Sorry, in the video comments below. Right, so let me come. I will select my runtime. That's the environment that's going to be compatible with. And then, so I said we are working with Python, so I'm going to select a couple of Python runtime so that I can make use of the layer. Right, so create. So now I have this layer. So what I'm going to do is, once the layer is created, I'm going to associate this layer with my code. That's my Lambda code. So I'm back to my convert Lambda. And then I'll scroll down. Once you come down, you will see Lambda layers. I'm going to add it. So I've now created our Lambda layer. I'm going to select it. So as I mentioned, AWS by default have a couple of them. Pandas and parameters, security store extensions and all that. But because we don't have that, I went ahead to create our own layer, the PyPDF2. So I'm going to select that. And I'll select the version. I think now I have just one version, so V1. And then I'll add it. And once I do that, or once I do this, what is happening is we've added this model to our environment. So I'm going to upload the file again and then see the kind of error, whether we are going to get the same error or not. Upload, add files, the same PDF file again to get a new set of events. Come in here. So I'll go back. Yes, so guys, I really want you guys to see all these things happen in real time so that when you are working on your solutions and all that, these are the processes you'll be going through as a cloud engineer or as a solution architect. So if you can see, this is the most recent invocation of our Lambda. Once I click on it, if my layer is working, we shouldn't see that error again, the error that we were getting initially. All right, so now we are getting a different form of error that we will solve as we proceed. So now we can see that when we proceed to upload a file, a PDF into our bucket, it's invoking a Lambda function and then you are getting the events and everything. So if you look at the event structure, it's saying this is the bucket name, right? And then we uploaded a key into this folder, and then this is the file name. So yeah, it's working up to this point. All right.